And we back. What a morning, y'all. What a morning. For a few months now, we knew that Kawhi Leonard was going to have to get traded. We just didn't know when or what team was going to get him. And it happened to be the Toronto Raptors. Ironically enough, we talked about this on my podcast yesterday. Before the trade happened, before there were big time rumors about it. And this is what we said.
They didn't say no trade.
But I mean, we can realistically know that they want OG.
They want DeMar DeRozan because they don't want Kyle Lowry, especially with that contract.
I mean, there's no way in hell they getting DeMar DeRozan.
You don't think I think that's the only way the Spurs say yeah.
Because then the Raptors don't want Kawhi no more. You want Kawhi to put him with
DeRozan.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything. I don't have anything else that's valuable. OG is the only guy that's valuable. Jonas Valanciunas not valuable. Serge Ibaka doesn't have much value. Kyle Lowry's contract is crazy.
Of that though, because the Spurs don't really have no leverage.
And on that podcast, we also talk about loyalty, which is something that you're going to hear people talk about a lot over the next couple of days, because that loyalty thing when it comes to the NBA, it's dead. It's dead. If Isaiah Thomas got traded after how loyal he was to the Boston Celtics, and now DeMar DeRozan got traded after how loyal he was to the Toronto Raptors, the NBA is 100% a business. There is no loyalty. The man DeMar DeRozan took a pay cut. He could have got a bona fide max contract back in 2016, but instead of taking that max contract, he took a little less money because he wanted the Raptors to be able to sign a player in free agency to help them get over the hump. Him and Kyle Lowry, the bromance is over. Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green were traded to Toronto for DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, and I think a first-round pick or something like that. And boom, Kawhi is in Toronto. But why? Why did the GM of the Toronto Raptors trade the most loyal guy on their team, their best player, for Kawhi Leonard, who is only on a one-year deal and has expressed that he does not want to play for the Toronto Raptors? Why would the Raptors GM go out and trade for a guy that he says doesn't want to play for them? And in today's video, we're going to try to break it down as great as we can, okay? So let's talk about why the general manager of the Toronto Raptors would make this deal. So for the past few years, the Raptors have been a very good team. It just so happens that they struggle to get past the king. They struggle to get past LeBron James, whether it be in the second round or the Eastern Conference Finals. They just haven't been able to beat him in a playoff series. Well, now LeBron is out west, and I thought in my mind that they were like, you know what? Let's try this one more year. We'll try this one more year now that we don't have to worry about going against LeBron. And usually teams do one or two things. They either fire the coach or they trade their best player. But the Raptors did both in the same offseason, which I think is a little bit questionable. But why did they go out and get Kawhi? Because Kawhi is a bona fide superstar. If it wasn't for Paul George, I think the one reason Masai Ujiri, who is the GM of the Toronto Raptors, made this deal was because of Paul George, believe it or not. If Paul George didn't agree to stay in OKC, they wouldn't go out to try to get Kawhi Leonard. You think about it, 90% of us, 95% of us were very, very sure that Paul George is going to go to LA. He has said it, and it was a done deal. But something happened to Paul George. He's like, you know what? Forget LA. I want to stay here. Now, I'm sure that the Toronto Raptors are hoping that they convince Kawhi Leonard that Toronto is the fourth biggest market in North America. Kawhi Leonard and his entire camps, for a long time, they just been saying that we want Kawhi to be in a large market. Well, Toronto is a large market. And here we are. It is a big time risk. Because if they aren't able to convince Kawhi Leonard to stay this offseason, then they just traded their best player, DeMar DeRozan, who's under contract until 2021, for a one-year rental, and then Kawhi Leonard walks, and they're in big-time trouble. But honestly, I feel as if they may be able to re-sign him this offseason. It's gonna be a little bit different for Kawhi. Grew up in California, went to school there, then was, played for the Spurs. The man basically ain't never seen snow before. And now he's going to one of the snowiest places in North America. It's gonna be a little different for him. But I think he needs to come in there with the open mind, man. I think he needs to come in there with the open mind. Again, he said he doesn't want to play for them. Do you really want that in your organization's locker room? I don't know, dog. They have to get him to buy into this team. This team has a legitimate chance of making the finals this year. If he stayed in with the Spurs, They don't really have a chance to make the finals. Of course, they're going to be a playoff team, but they don't have a chance to make the finals. But in Toronto, think about this closing five. Kyle Lowry, OG Anunoby, Kawhi Leonard, Serge Ibaka, and Pascal Siakam. Who is scoring on that team? Defensively, that team is incredible. And you know, that's how they're going to close games. That's not how they're going to start it. Because Jonas Valanciunas is their center and all. But that's how they're going to close game. It's going to be hard to score in that lineup. That's just what I'm thinking. One thing I can commend the Toronto Raptors on is they didn't have to trade OG or Pascal Siakam or Fred VanVleet. They did have to trade Jakob Poeltl. Those 4 guys were their young little core. They get rid of one, but they didn't have to trade any of the others. That is a huge W, if you ask me. I'm very excited to see how the Raptors play this, or if they were able to convince Kawhi Leonard. I think this is going to go down in history as just one of the best trades, like one of the weirdest trades ever. But let's get to the Spurs side. Now let's flip things and talk about the Spurs side of the ball. I like this for the Spurs just as much because they really didn't have much leverage. Think about when Paul George was traded. We thought that they lost the trade. We thought the Indiana Pacers lost the trade. Because this is before Victor Oladipo blossomed into a superstar. When the whole world knows your player wants to get traded, the league is not going to offer you star players. And they just got a star player in return. We're not talking superstar because, again, DeMar DeRozan is not a superstar. He's definitely an all-star source star in return. That team last year was a good team without Kawhi. And now you add DeMar DeRozan to that mix. I like where this is going. DeJounte Murray, DeMar DeRozan, I'm guessing Rudy Gay, LaMarcus Aldridge, and then Jakob Poeltl. They got a center finally. For the past few years, they've been playing Pau Gasol and LaMarcus Aldridge together. And defensively, that's kind of a recipe for disaster. And now they got Jakob Poeltl. I like the way things went for them. They turned a terrible situation with Kawhi Leonard into something positive and bringing in DeMar DeRozan. Again, I know DeMar DeRozan is sad and he doesn't want to be traded, but at the end of the day, he needs to accept the fact, and I want him to go out and destroy the league with the Spurs to show that Toronto, like, y'all made a mistake. And that's what I want from him. I hope that Pop can bring out the best in him like Pop brings out the best in any other player. Listen, DeMar, if you're watching this video by any means, best of luck, brother. I'm rooting for you this season because I want to see you just go out there and just prove everybody wrong. For a few years now, people were just saying, man, DeMar DeRozan is a solid player, but he ain't a winner just because he's been against LeBron all these years. DeMar DeRozan is a really good player. You know, he's a really good NBA player, and now he's playing in an organization that I think can help him maximize his potential if it wasn't already there. This trade is going to go down in history. It's just one of the weirdest and the best trades ever. We just saw a top 5 player was just traded again. Last year, we saw so many stars get traded, and this offseason, boom, another star gets traded. That's why the NBA offseason is never dead. We were in a period of time where we were like, what's there to talk about the NBA anymore? All the big-time signings happen. Boom, Kawhi. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think about this trade from both sides. And if you're a fan of either team, how do you feel about your team going forward? Again, this is Kenny. If you did enjoy the little clip that we talked on Through the Wire, the link in the description will be for the full episode. Go down there, watch it, download it if you just want to listen to it. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.